regardless, regardless. Despite the prevailing circumstances. The law requires equal treatment for all, regardless of race, religion, or sex. Regardless of how often I correct him, he always makes the same mistake. Likewise. Likewise. In the same way or manner. The movie received critical acclaim. Likewise, it was a box office success. I am a vegetarian, and likewise, my roommate follows a plant-based diet. Alternatively. Alternatively. As another option or possibility. If you don't want to go to the park, alternatively, you could go to the library. Instead of buying a new phone, you could alternatively repair your current one. In other words. In other words. To explain something more clearly. The exam was challenging. In other words, it required a lot of preparation. The weather is unpredictable. In other words, it can change at any moment. Accordingly. Accordingly. In a way that is suitable. When the learners receive instructions, they need to act accordingly. This restaurant is considered fine dining and guests should dine accordingly. As a result. As a result. Because of something that has happened. The farmer mismanaged crops as a result of poor weather forecasting. The company lost a lot of money as a result of the economic downturn. Even though. Even though. Used as a stronger way to say although. She says she still loves him, even though he treats her badly. She made a lot of spelling mistakes, even though it's quite an easy essay. Nonetheless. Nonetheless. Despite what has just been said or referred to. She was busy, nonetheless. She made time to hang out with her friends. The movie was boring, nonetheless. We still enjoyed spending time together. In addition. In addition. To add an extra piece of information. Reading books has a benefit in addition to improving your vocabulary. The company offers a bonus based on performance in addition to salary. Because of. Because of. For the reason that, due to the fact that. The pilot had lost consciousness because of oxygen starvation. Global warming is increasing day by day because of deforestation. Despite. Despite. Without being affected or prevented by something. Despite winning the title, their last campaign ended in great disappointment. The overall economic condition is favorable, despite a few minor problems. However. Contradict something that has been said previously. Some of the food crops failed. However, the cotton did quite well. The ant is the most industrious animal. However, it is the most taciturn one. Furthermore. Used when adding a connected statement. Our National Museum is elegant. Furthermore, it's in a suitable location. She always arrives on time. Her work, furthermore, has always been excellent. Not only but also. Used to present two related pieces of information. She speaks not only English but also French, Italian, and German. The candidates campaigned not only in Iowa but also in New Hampshire. In the past. Gone by in time and no longer exist. In the past, a woman needed to be chaste to make a good marriage. Some U.S. industries are not as competitive as they have been in the past. Therefore. As a result or consequence. You had no real knowledge and therefore no way to make a wise decision. We were unable to get funding and therefore had to abandon the project. Simultaneously. Existing or occurring at the same time. Windows allows a computer user to execute multiple programs simultaneously. The students prepare simultaneously for both higher education and employment. Apart from. Except for someone or something. The student center was dumpy apart from the new game room. Apart from vaccines, there is no known way to protect against meningitis. Due to. Introduce the reason for something happening. Due to the economic downturn, the housing market is starting to weaken. Due to injury, the team captain was forced to withdraw from the match. So that. Subsequently, or soon afterward. Accept the challenges so that you can feel the exhilaration of victory. Her parents made sacrifices so that she could have a good education. As soon as. As soon as. In the shortest possible time. Please deliver the baggage to my hotel as soon as you have located it. We were enthusiastic to start the science project as soon as possible. Thus. Thus. In the way just indicated. Some people will be more capable and thus better paid than others. Young Indian elephants are hairy, thus showing affinity with the mammoth. Moreover. Moreover. Used for introducing additional facts. Texting while driving is dangerous. Moreover, it's illegal in some states. They knew the painting was a forgery. Moreover, they knew who had painted it. Although. Regardless of the fact that no man knows when he shall die, although he knows he must die. Although they're expensive, they last forever and never go out of style. Unless. Describing the result if something does not happen. Liberty is the only thing you cannot have unless you give it to others. Wild animals generally don't attack people unless they are provoked by them. Until. Up to the point in time or the event mentioned. He had decided to play until that score reached 43,000. We never know the love of our parents until we become parents ourselves. On account of. Introduce the reason or explanation for something. Both his first and second wives divorced him on account of his womanizing. Jack had been excused from military service on account of short-sightedness. In order to. With the aim or purpose of doing something. You should read the book in order to understand more about the subject. He came home early in order to see the children before they went to bed. As long as. For the period of time that. My parents allow a bit of disorder as long as we clean up later. You are allowed to go as long as you come back before midnight. Subsequently. At a later or subsequent time. The data can subsequently be loaded on a computer for processing. A panel investigated the company's misconduct, and it was subsequently fined. Eventually. Eventually. In the end, especially after a long delay. The students found the lessons hard and eventually lost concentration. As you see these language features in use, you'll eventually internalize them. Consequently. Consequently. Used to indicate cause, effect, and outcome. She is always bad-tempered and consequently doesn't have many friends. Relations between the two countries had, consequently, never been close. Traditionally. Traditionally. As part of a long-established custom. The source of meat for much of this region has traditionally been the pig. Agricultural work is traditionally seen as a male occupation in many societies. In spite of. In spite of. Without being affected or prevented by. In spite of our best endeavors, it has proven impossible to contact her. In spite of their very different backgrounds, they immediately became friends. Correspondingly. Correspondingly. Have an obvious similarity. The new exam is longer and correspondingly more difficult to pass. Life in the city is more expensive, but salaries are correspondingly higher. Especially. Especially. Used to single out one person or thing over all others. Millions of wildflowers color the valleys, especially in April and May. It will be comfortable to work, especially when it's warm and sunny outside. In a nutshell. In a nutshell. To introduce a summary of something. She wants me to leave the company. I want to stay. That's it in a nutshell. In a nutshell, be sure of your requirements before choosing a computer. Notably. Notably. In a way that attracts or deserves attention. The athlete's performance in the championship was notably outstanding. The company has started to attract investors, most notably Chinese banks. Similar to. Similar to. A person or thing similar to another. Cider in Japan and Korea refers to a soft drink similar to Sprite or lemonade. The design of the new castle is similar to those that have already been built. Owing to. Owing to. Introducing the reason for something. The course will have to be repeated owing to the pressure of numbers. The referee was forced to call the game at halftime owing to the rain. If. In a possible or imagined situation. I usually make a sandwich to take to work if I have enough time. You will be paid double if you get the work finished by this week. In case. In case. A precaution against the event that. The hospital has a backup generator in case there is a power failure. Pick over the lentils carefully in case there are any stones among them. To sum up. To sum up. Give a brief summary of something. To sum up, the game was intense and both teams played exceptionally well. To sum up, the research suggests that exercise can improve mental health. Straight away. Straight away. Without any delay immediately. The syndicate has found a radical solution to the problem straight away. The chef started preparing the meal straight away after receiving the order. Whereas. In contrast or comparison with the fact that. He is a globalist, whereas we are nationalists who will put our country first. The old method was fairly complicated, whereas the new one is very simple. Nevertheless. In spite of that, however, I knew about the subject already, but her talk was interesting nevertheless. The building is guarded around the clock, but robberies occur nevertheless. Similarly. Showing that ideas are related or connected. Husband and wife were similarly successful in their chosen careers. Cars must stop at red traffic lights. Similarly, bicycles have to stop too. Weather. Expressing a doubt or choice between alternatives. We are not sure whether the station has been demolished or still exists. We have to accept that they are part of our lives, whether we like it or not. In conclusion. Used to introduce the final comments at the end. In conclusion, I would like to say how much I have enjoyed myself today. In conclusion, walking is an enjoyable and readily available form of exercise.